I want to build a greenhouse because I want fresh food to the people who need it in our area all year round. So that's really important to me. Getting my garden program bigger, getting students from other schools to come to me and help with the garden program, cooking classes, more cooking classes for the youth. The youth is super important. I mean, yeah, of course we say this, our next generation. And we're like, yeah, no shit. Like, so let's teach them the right way, right? So I think that's like I guess the next step for us. But again, I don't want to say more events because we definitely do that. But just constantly work on improving the menus. Make sure the staff is important to me, not just.
So, hello everybody. Welcome
Hello.
back to another episode of From Within. Today we have Kip Poole. We're here in Franklin, Virginia, right here at Goose Hill Farm for the homegrown harvest.
Homegrown harvest.
So first of all, tell us about that. Tell us about all these beautiful tables getting set up around here.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's definitely a beautiful day. It's a hot ass day.
Yeah.
Profanity, okay?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, I'll keep it to a minimum.
Got you.
So 4 years ago, Marshall from Hubs Peanuts family business reached out to me and was like, hey, how can I help the Crop Foundation? So if you're not familiar with Crop Foundation, it's a nonprofit that I started about almost 11 years ago now that doesn't stand for anything, but it's an acronym for, it's not an acronym, but over the years, I constantly said create opportunities. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. CROP. So crop, it can obviously be used for a lot of things in this world of crops and creating opportunities. But we create opportunities for youth and underprivileged kiddos that might want to do culinary or agriculture or hospitality or whatever. So we got together, pulled about 15 schools in the mix for the first year, had an awesome fundraiser at the Vine. And then the next year, a local family, the Benjacks, were just like, hey, let's do a part 2 and let's do it outside. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is now, again, the 4th year that we've done this. And it's for the Crop Foundation, T2 Fitness, and the Food Bank. And the Food Bank, we're going to support hypertension in the Franklin, Suffolk area. Gotcha. And we have a massive amount of people. This is just the beginning.
Yeah,
so
just getting started.
We have a lot. We'll talk about the stations later. But that's the homegrown harvest in a nutshell. Everything is open fire kitchen. No ovens are out here unless we made it.
Right, right. So first of all, of course, with you being a business owner and you having, the Crop Foundation and Yorkies, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you even started in culinary.
Oh man. So this, I'll try to be quick on this one.
I'll take as much time as you need.
Yeah. So my dad, he traveled for a living, and I was always invited. So his job was basically to shake hands and take people out to dinner. Gotcha. So I joined him on all of that, and I was dining at the best restaurants in the country at a young age. So I would absolutely love to take those concepts home and try to prepare them for my mom, because my mom stayed at home with the dogs and all that kind of stuff. And then right at 14, started working in restaurants in Norfolk.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like right away, 14. And then went to Tech for culinary and Virginia Tech for culinary hospitality. Now it's a hospitality program. And then went right to Philly and worked at Philadelphia Country Club, restaurants around that area. And then I was just like, I want to teach. And then I started teaching culinary. And that's where the love of let's help the youth start the Crop Foundation.
Got you. So of course, you've been doing this for at least 30 years at this point?
Shit. Yeah. It's 30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So of course, culinary isn't really something easy to break into. Of course, people might, get to a certain level and they kind of just plateau. But, every once in a while, you're just sprouting up something new.
Yep. Yeah.
So tell us about some different hardships that you've had throughout your career.
Yeah.
And how those hardships,
I mean, the whole career is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lifestyle. Like people say that when it comes down to this business, it runs you down, but you always want to get back up and do it. So I did it for so many years. And then I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So I went back to school to teach,
Right.
and I was like, I'm gonna be a fourth grade teacher, fourth, fifth grade elementary teacher, and that was like a hardship, but it was like a realization that I didn't want to be in the business. But the business found me again because I got my master's in education, thinking I was going to be an elementary teacher. Then someone approached me and was like, "Hey, this high school is called William Penn, aka William Penitentiary. It's a Title I school. A lot of people would say a lot of bad kids, but I don't say that, right? We find the best in every kid. And they were like, we won this grant and we have $250,000 to create this back area into a kitchen. And I didn't only want the kitchen, but we had farmland.
Yeah.
And my students that were like inner city kids were going in the mornings to get eggs and tomatoes with their pants down to their ankles and no belt on and all that stuff. But then they started hanging out with me, and like, again, this is not more of a hardship, but it was hard for me because they didn't want to go home. They had family problems and stuff like that. So they started hanging out in my kitchens. And I was like, why are y'all here? It was like, I don't want to go home. So that's where crop kind of came into play. So, watching struggles with kids was a huge hardship because I want to help everybody. And that's tough to do, so that's why the nonprofit happened. And then, we can talk for days about hardships in the kitchen, but it's honestly every day is hard in this business. And for some reason, we still want to do it.
Right. Going back to William Penn, can you tell us about a specific story about, maybe a kid or two or a couple stories about, uh, just that satisfaction moment of, like, wow, this is what I'm
is why I do it. Yeah, for sure. So when I started Crop, again, I started it to create opportunities to these people that no one saw anything good about. And I had one girl who was 16 years old, and she had to work to pay rent at her parents' house. And this was awful, right? I'm just like, why? And they used her because we were like a catering business and we paid our students and everything. Excuse me. And I was like, I'm going to help this girl. So she was doing a crop event in an abandoned barn or abandoned building, wherever we threw a party. And her hospitality was so strong. A guest came up to me and was like, who is that girl? And I was like, her name's Kiara. And it was like, I want to pay for her college.
Wow.
And so she went to Johnson and Wales, and then she went to Miami, and she's like head honcho of like guest services at the Ritz-Carlton. 1, 2.
That's crazy.
Won't say names, although but came up to me and was like, you know what? I want to be a stripper, and I want to sell drugs. And she was like on point with everything. She was like, I'll buy my own health insurance. I'll have enough money. I know by the time I'm 21, 22, I won't be able to strip anymore. Good looking girl. And she was just like, boom, boom, boom. Had her focus. And I'm like, that's not a career. And we pulled her away from that path. And she's now running some of the best restaurants in Philadelphia. And then she's also branching out on my nonprofit and taking it back to Delaware and Pennsylvania by raising her own vegetables and doing meals for kids. Wow. So it's like a lot of those stories. I mean, another guy who worked with me or I taught moved to Virginia, started running a couple restaurants down here because he just kind of saw the path I was on. And then now he is working with Dan Geisty, who ran the best restaurant in the world in Noma, but they do better, healthy cooking for kids. So I can go on and on and on and on. And that's why like doing things is a lot more meaningful than just like giving scholarships out. And that's what Crop has kind of turned into. And that's what like all of these guys behind me are kids. And the guy, in the cowboy hat is literally a 16-year-old who got his mom to drop him off from Virginia Beach just because he's super involved and into this. So it's just again, it's a doing thing. This culinary business, it's a lot of do instead of just sitting down and kind of watching.
Right, that's beautiful, man. Of course, Yorkies being right in the center of the Vibe District in Virginia Beach, a place that's been growing and developing rapidly at this point. We got the Dome and the Wave Park going on right now. big players like Pharrell are heavily involved, and just the whole community in that area is just blossoming.
Awesome. Yeah.
So with you being in the center of it with Yorkies, you guys opened up last year. Talk to us about the process of opening a
Yeah.
restaurant. And of course, you had events there with Pharrell. You've
Yeah.
had social supply events.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
had several events in there that I've attended as well. So tell us about just opening up a business and sustaining a business in that area.
Yeah. So another hardship, right?
Excuse me.
Culinary hardship. Opening up a restaurant harder. Opening up a successful restaurant, and knock on wood, we've been there a year. We stayed open. Awesome. We haven't even like hit any type of surface of what we want to do, but we built it. So Yorkies, my real name is York, but my
Yes.
dad's nickname was Yorkie.
Mhm.
And being that I started the business, he got me into it. He always told me, man, open up a hot dog stand or a sandwich shop. There are always going to be people who want a hot dog or a sandwich.
Right.
And I was like, no, it's stupid, man. I was like, I want fine dining. When I was 25, I want tapas. And then I was like, I want an oyster bar. I want to do this. And now I want to do fine dining. And I was like, I just want a good ass sandwich, right?
Yeah.
So Yorkie's open, called my dad, and I was like, I think I found a location. And he came and looked at the building, and he was like, I don't think this is it. And it's now Frank and Patty's. And he was like, you want something bigger? And I was like, yeah, but this is a great sandwich shop. And he was like, yeah, but you don't want just a sandwich shop. You want a bigger plan. So more guidance of my dad. And so I pulled in to go meet my buddy, Pat Ryan, who used to run Benevolent Furniture in that building where I was. And then I was like, dude, we should throw an event here. And that was Zoo. And Zoo was dope. Like it brought, I think like 1,500 people came to that thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need a restaurant here. So called my dad. I was like, is this the spot? He said, 30,000 cars pass this location every single day. This is the spot.
Yeah.
So it took a while. It took almost a year and a half to build. We wanted to do it right. And we wanted to, we're still working on consistency and efficiency, but we didn't just we didn't want to just open up a restaurant. We wanted to open up basically a canvas for the community to use. Right. So that's another hardship. Is someone calls and says, hey, I want to do this. I'm like, yeah, do it. Let's do it. And I'm just like, yes, 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 being that I'm in the middle of a field doing an event on a Saturday where the restaurant is open. And then next week I got the Atlantic Park celebration, Pharrell's opening of the wave park. So that's 500 people. So I don't know how I do it. Thanks to my wife hasn't left me or anything, but it's just, again, hard. It's just everything's hard, but I just love it. And like I overly use the word passion because I think we all have passion, but passion sometimes is great, but sometimes it might get you in trouble. Right. Just how you use your passion is super important.
Yes. Rewinding a little bit, you were featured on a couple TV shows.
Yeah.
One with Guy Fieri. Tell us about that experience. Not a lot of people get to go on TV with their careers.
And that's the thing is it's like just do because something's going to work out. This is a perfect example. I was on Guy's Grocery Games in 2016. Kept in touch with 2 out of the 3 chefs that I was on the show with. Because of her, I was introduced to one of the chefs that was here last night. That was a show in California, and one of the chefs from Virginia that I just met last night, and pretty sure a great friendship evolving, and who's going to be able to help with all this future stuff. It's just the connections, right? So Guy's Grocery Games was fun. If you haven't seen it, I definitely would, especially in the month of October because it was a Halloween episode.
Okay.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
And then I said to everybody, I was like, I am not doing another show ever. And then my mom called me and was like, Dan Levy's doing a show, and it's about people who, it's not only about chefs, but it's about people who do more for their community. And I'm like, all right, like, I'll try, like, I'll call. And then I called and literally left a message. And 2 minutes later, they're like, yes, like, we want you on the application process. And it took like 4 months to apply for that show. And I did it. And I had some personal things going on. So I didn't do as well as I wanted. A lot of people will say that when it comes down to TV, but my mind wasn't really there. It was kind of somewhere else. So people even watched the show and was like, you don't seem you. And I was like, I wasn't. But that networking, relationships. I'm those 10 cast members I talk to every week, and they wanted to help. They one or two of them might be at the wave park next week helping me. So again, that's just working and making sure you're just networking and talking to people. And that's definitely going to get you somewhere.
Got you. Of course, just talking to you, you are a very charismatic, fun guy, and with the Yorkies menu, we see that personality come out with the food as well. Every week you guys do like a weekly special for different sandwiches and things like that. So tell us about what it was to create your base menu as well, the size and things like that. And also just popping up every week with a brand new sandwich that's limited. So how was that?
I wanted a lot of people to be a part of it. Being that I've lived outside of Philly for 13 years, so it's like my favorite sandwich is the pork Italian. And I was like, I gotta slow cook pork and do a pork Italian with broccoli rabe. And then we had it on the menu, and we had a lot of people complain because the broccoli rabe is bitter. And I'm like, come on, man, that's the whole point of the sandwich. So I took the broccoli rabe off, and like 3 months later, I was like, why did I do that? I was like, that's not the sandwich. So I put broccoli rabe on it, and now it's our #1 seller. So you just don't really know. We do our own pastrami. I just wanted a lot of love into that. And then specials, it's not really me. It's the opening of like that canvas, right? Allowing my guys to do a special, have some fun with that.
Right.
And it kind of gives them a little incentive, I guess, as well. And be like, yo, we got smoked chicken today, and we got a lot. We smoked too much of it. Can we do something? And people are thrilled to do that. So you just kind of do it like an initiative for them.
Yeah, that's great. There's been a couple of times where I haven't been able to had a chance to make it down there for a sandwich.
Yeah.
But of course, doing events in there. What are some things that you want to open Yorkies up to?
Yeah, anything. For the most part. I mean, Cam and Ivan and the crew at Social Supply said, hey, let's throw a party here and like have DJs. I'm like, yeah, no brainer, let's do it. Successful. I let them do whatever they want, because the cool thing about where we are is 757. There are so many damn creators. Like it's amazing. Like, influencers. So we just are lucky to be where we are. And I was like, yeah, do it. Somebody came and is launching a new brand of clothing and perfume / cologne. And he was like, I want to throw like a beach party. I was like, if we throw a beach party, we're putting sand in this bitch. So like we're gonna create a like a beach in this place. So that's in a couple weeks.
Wow.
I don't know. We're gonna open the garage door and put like sand in the middle and beach chairs and all that stuff.
That's what's up.
Have a DJ, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. Was it my intention to start doing things like this immediately? No, because I'm very, very like consistency and efficiency is so important to me, and like making sure that person does the sandwich the same way as this person is super important. And again, we're not quite there yet, still, and I think we're always going to be evolving. But I want to build a greenhouse because I want fresh food to the people who need it in our area all year round. So that's really important to me. Getting my garden program bigger, getting students from other schools to come to me and help with the garden program, more cooking classes for the youth. The youth is super important. I mean, yeah, of course we say this, our next generation. And we're like, yeah, no shit. Like, so let's teach them the right way, right? So I think that's like I guess the next step for us. But again, I don't want to say more events because we definitely do that. But just constantly work on improving the menus. Make sure the staff is important to me, not just having them, but giving them the time that they deserve because they work really hard, and make sure that you appreciate them. So doing more things with the staff, and that's why we do this thing too. So we have at least 6 staff members here.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's it in a nutshell. 6'7". 6'7".
Kids gonna love that one. But of course, like I said, just mentioned teaching. When you were just getting your feet wet in the business, you know, learning from different, I guess, chefs
Yeah.
and just, you know, older statesmen,
Yeah.
elder
Yeah.
statesmen. Sorry, keys. Excuse me, y'all. um, what are some things that, you know, young Kip can go back and say, wow, that piece of information was
Yeah.
the best information that I've gotten, and and you know, still applies to
Yeah.
this day, and you also give that same advice.
Just take it, you know. I mean, just take the information. Sometimes it's not going to be the right information. Sometimes it's going to be the right or like the wrong information. But just listen and take it all in. I mean, I have worked with chefs that they want, you know, back in the day, like early 2000s, it was fancy to have hot plates, you know, with your hot food. And I remember working with this one guy who was like, the plate's not hot enough. The plate's not hot enough. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. Like, put him back in the oven. And was like, I want this plate this fucking hot. And he put a plate in a fryer, dipped it, took it out, took the plate and threw it at me. Right. And I'm like, all right, definitely going to get you your hot plates now. Like, you didn't handle it the right way, but I understood it. Right.
Yeah.
And I listened to it. Again, not the right way to do it. But, you know, there's a lot of information out there. And be involved, right? So I'm not going to sit here and say, stop playing video games and being on your phone all the time and wanting to socialize with your friends, because that's all really important. And I'm not against it, but take the opportunities to do things like put your phone down and go here. You know, like I have guys that they were on their phone all morning, but you get them involved with something and their phone gets like put down. So do things. And I did a lot of things. I was very lucky, and again, traveled with my dad, and I could not be more blessed. But if you have an opportunity to do something cool, do it. You know, and that might be a shitty job, but it's going to be an experience.
Right.
So just do and listen and like just take it all in.
Got you. With you being one of the, you know, you can comfortably say that you are a major impact in this community. You know, of
Thank
course,
you.
with Yorkies, the Crop Foundation, and all the other things that you have going. What is it like to, you know, for you, you know, introspective, you know, being a pillar in this community?
Yeah.
You know, with all the, you know, the different connections that you have outward, but mainly in Virginia, in Virginia Beach specifically.
Sure. So thank you. I mean, you know, like I of course want to be successful. You know, and open up a restaurant year two, you're definitely not successful. Every penny I have is in that place, and so I'm not quite like successful. I don't know. I feel like successful is, you know, going on vacation and being able to be away from your kitchen, but I'm away from my kitchen now, you know, so maybe that's my way of being successful. Everybody's a little different. But, you know, being a member of the community is a huge thing. And again, just adding to it. Like I built Yorkies for another reason of just adding another element, right? So I didn't want to, you know, just serve breakfast because you got Mary's, right? I didn't want to be just a soft serve ice cream place because you got Lollies. I didn't want to have donuts because Pink Dingy does them during the weekend. I didn't want to have a coffee program because we have coffee places all over the place. So I just wanted to be different. And then people are like, well, there's taste and there's zeros, but we're not taste and zeros. And they're friends. You know, they're like we fucking love zeros. Zeros is not us. But you're talking about influences and people and part of the community. He's a part of the community. So it's just important to just be an addition, and not only be an addition, but teach people to be more additions. You know, so like let me talk to my guys, and hopefully they'll be one of these influencers added to the vibe, you know, or added to Virginia Beach. So you know, just put your foot in when you can. I think maybe I put my feet in way too much, but I'll learn one day just to kind of calm it down a little bit.
Got you. And to conclude, you know, of course, in this area, like you mentioned, all these other places. Also, Igor wanted me to tell you that you were a jerk.
Yeah. Oh, he said I was a jerk? Yeah,
jerk.
real nice.
Yeah. What is it like to be in this area? You know, have your feet set in this area. Of course, you have your family here.
Yeah.
You know, tell us about your love for, you know.
So my love for Virginia and 757 is so strong, I moved away. You know, I worked at Disney World for a little bit, and then right when I left Disney World, I graduated and then moved away. And I was away for 13 years, and every day I wanted to come home. So I started the Crop Foundation. I started, I guess, influencing or whatever you call it these days, started teaching, all that kind of stuff. But again, more going back to my dad, I was like, man, everything that you're doing there, do it here. I'm like, I want to. I just got to figure it out. So I was in Virginia Beach, and I went to my friend's house, our friend's birthday, 30th birthday, and met my wife. And she was living in Philadelphia at the time. And now it's at my brother. It was at my brother-in-law's birthday party. So like, wow. It was the universe saying, we need to get back to Virginia Beach. Like, she moved here, and I was like, all right, well, it was really hard. You talk about obstacles. It was really hard because my daughter still lives up there.
Okay.
But my heart is Virginia. Like, it can't grow any more fond of this place. I mean, for this place is like everything that we're cooking, it's all Virginia. And we are so lucky to have everything from the ocean to the rivers to the lakes to, farmland around here. You just got to sit back and take it all in.
All right. Well, yeah, that's about all we got today, man.
Cool. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you guys. I mean, you guys are a part of this. Like, you're telling the stories of what everybody's doing around there. And, just make sure somebody, my partner, after our 1-year anniversary, I was in Vegas for a food show. And I was like, yeah, I feel guilty. I'm not there. I'm not there. And he was like, dude, just take it in. Like, take some time to say you're doing good. So make sure y'all are doing the same thing. You guys came all the way out to Franklin to talk to me.
Yeah.
So take some time and, stop and get a good bite to eat and take it all in.
Will do.
Yeah.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it.
Once again, everybody, Kip Poole.
Yeah.
If you're in Virginia Beach, stop by Yorkies. Last time I was there what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Like that?
Chopped cheese?
Yeah, chopped cheese.
Yeah,
so,
I knew it. I'm good with that stuff.
Yeah.
And then make sure y'all, if y'all want to stay for the show, I mean, we don't start until 1, but come back. Tickets on me.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Later,
much.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.